I've been using a short leash, hands-free dog walking system for the last 4 months, and I will never go back. It has been such an incredible experience. And I've been through all of the potential systems that I could be using for two dogs to make sure they don't get tangled up and they're safe and it's a productive walk. None of them have done well for us except for this system. I built this system out of multiple pieces that I acquired from different locations. So I'm going to link all of those things down below for you. And I started with my hands-free belt. Now, I really love mine because it is a wider belt. It's supportive on my back and it has D-rings on either hip. So there's a link for each dog on either side. They're not coming from the same point, which means as they're moving around, as they're doing things, they're not pulling one central location on me, which could potentially mess up your back or your hips or your whatever. So I like that it's on either side. This has been really helpful to also keep my dogs separate. I have tried the systems where they have one long piece and then the dual coupler, and it messes up my back, but it also crashes them into each other. So having them on opposite sides is really, really helpful. There's a D-ring on either hip that I then attached a really heavy duty carabiner to. And this carabiner has one of the screw pieces so that even if it gets bumped, it's not coming undone. So it's got heavy duty D-rings and then it's got those carabiner clips to it. From there, I'm attaching our short leash. Now, this is the same leash I've been talking about for years on my platform. It's just the shorter length. These are my favorite leashes because they are heavy duty. They're really quality materials, but also the padding on the handles is magnificent. Now, I've raved here on the channel about my longer version of this. It has a padded handle at the end, but a padded traffic handle down closer to my dog so that if I need to move them around or hold them closer to me, it's just so easy and it does not hurt me. Every other leash, if I get tugged on or if I get it twisted up around me, the padding is so poorly done that it hurts more than it helps. This one is not that. This is the coziest, comfiest, most functional leash I've ever found, and I bought it in all of the colors, multiple versions. I color coordinate with them. I love them, and Black Friday is one of the best times to buy them. So like get yours now, but then like advance it out next Black Friday. So from there, I was working with those, but they would get a little bit tangled up because they were longer. My dogs had the ability to walk ahead of me or over to the sides, and they would just twist each other up, and then we just had to function that way. So when I realized they also had the 24-inch version, I was sold. I bought a couple of them. They are the perfect height for my dogs. Now, I have English Springer Spaniels. This would not work for my Pomeranian. It's obviously not going to be long enough for her. She'd be dangling from my hip. So you have to take into account the size of your dog. Please be smart about this. When you're planning this, you're going to need different size leashes for different size dogs, obviously. But if you have a medium or bigger size dog, that 24-inch leash is the game changer. It is the thing that makes all the difference. So I attached the handle of that to the carabiner, and then I just clip the end of it, the clip part, to their harness. Now, harnesses are really important. You want to make sure you're putting your dog in a harness because if they're not in a harness, you could potentially be choking them. If you're clipping it to their collar around their neck, it could be a whole problem. So you want a good harness, and we've had this discussion before, so I'm going to real quick go through it here. You want to make sure you're using an escape-proof harness because if you're not, it could very easily go up over their head. My dogs are really good about staying in their harness and listening to me and doing all the things that they're supposed to, but one time I went to walk into a hotel lobby with my dog while we were at the beach. And she was terrified of the Christmas decorations. They had giant inflatables in the lobby. She did okay walking through the lobby to go out of the building, but when we went to go back in, something scared her, traumatized her so badly, she stopped short. And the other dog and I walked forward, not knowing she was going to stop. And I yanked that right over her head accidentally because she stopped and I was going at a good clip and it just right on over her head. I had to grab a hold of her neck and her collar because we were near a road and I didn't want her in her fear of the lobby to bolt, which she didn't, but I was terrified. And so from that day on, I never, ever put a harness on my two big dogs that was not an escape-proof harness. And that way it can't be pulled up over their heads. It has an extra third strap around their belly so that it can't go up over their lungs. So it's not going to go up over their chest, but it's also not going to be a problem around their tummy because it's loose enough that it's not a problem there. It's just not so loose that it can go up over their lungs. You know, it's got that little curve there. So an escape-proof harness is essential. It's very, very helpful, very, very important. So I always clip that to their escape-proof harness and we're good to go. Now at that point, my dogs have some freedom. They've got the ability to kind of move around me. They can kind of go in front of me. They can and definitely do kind of go behind me. In fact, Lucy has the thing where she needs Gemma as her emotional support sister, and she will go around behind me and kind of come up between me and Gemma. They cannot get tangled. There's no way for them to get tangled because they have to go all around me, and there's only 24 inches. It's not going very far. So it's enough that she can kind of go around, but they're not getting tangled. There's no way that they can, even if Gemma went behind me too, with Lucy's body there, she's not going to be able to get around to where they can get tangled. So they can kind of move around me. They can kind of do a little bit of exploring. They've got a little bit of space. And then they're also close enough to me that I don't have to worry about them trying to say hello to somebody as we're walking by, because every once in a while they want to make friends. Every once in a while they kind of want to see what's over in the woods. Every once in a while there's a squirrel, and they can't get too far from me. So it's really, really nice because they're not crashing into me. They're not crashing into each other. They have a little bit of freedom, but they also have that safety there. Now, the key to recognizing that this is working for us is that my dogs are also not explorers. When we go out on walks, they're not like trying to sniff things. They're not trying to pick things up. They're not trying to go wander away. My dogs are there for the mission. The journey is what we're there for, not the destination. And so, or I guess not the extra destinations, the side quests are not for my dogs. When they walk, they're here to walk. They are not sniffing the ground. They're not picking things up. They're not really paying attention to too much else. They're here for the fun of the walk, usually. And so this is really, really functional for us. I don't need to let my dog go roaming around because they don't roam around anyway. They stay with me. They want to be with me. They want to walk around and do things with me. And they like to be able to look up and make eye contact with me. They like to bop my hand with their nose, and they like to touch me while we're walking because they're mama's girls. So this has been a very functional system for us. It has worked incredibly well, and we've had the opportunity to try this for the last 4 months, and I will never, ever, 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 ever switch. In fact, when I'm walking one of them at a time, I still have them on the short leash because it's that functional for us. It works really, really well for my dogs individually and really, really well for my dogs as a pair. It's incredibly helpful. And the other thing is, if I have the third dog, Ember, with me, if I'm not walking with somebody else and they're walking her, because she's my tiny dog and she's a senior, I can also attach her to what I'm doing. So I have a pacer that I can just clip to either side of my D-rings, and then I can put it in front of me or behind me and just attach her leash handle to that. So she's got full functional range as well, and she's got a little bit longer of a leash than the other girls because she's tiny, and she has the freedom to kind of go around them and move. So I have the ability to either carry her leash and hold her, or I can just clip it there. So I'm going to link all of those pieces for you down below. You can create your own walking system, but the keys here is that you have a really good, functional, supportive, hands-free belt system for yourself, and that it has D-rings on either side, not just one in the front or two in the front. You want them on either side so that you can keep them apart, and then you want those 24-inch leashes as long as your dog is medium size or bigger. If you're going to have a smaller dog, obviously you're going to have a longer leash, but you also probably don't need heavy-duty leashes like the bigger dogs do, so you have more range of flexibility there that you can grab some of them. But I will link some of our favorite leashes for all of my dogs, the little ones and the medium-sized ones, as well as the belt and the carabiners. The carabiners are really like an important part of this equation and doesn't come with the belt, so you have to make sure you buy them individually. And you want to make sure they are strong and they have the screw on them so that they can't pop open on you. And then just pick your favorite colors. What colors do you want your dogs to be matched up with? This system works for single dogs or double dogs or even triple dogs. You have a lot of flexibility with this, and you can add pieces in and change pieces out to make it work for you and your walking situation. So let me know, how many dogs do you have? How many dogs are you walking? And what are some of the issues you have while you're out walking, doing your adventuring, that we could potentially be looking at different products to test out to solve some of your strenuous activity issues that come up while you're out living your best life with your dog. And follow along because we've got a full playlist of traveling with your dog, car travel with your dog, vacationing with your dog, making sure that your dog has everything you need to live the best, most adventurous, most wonderful life with you possible here on the channel. And we're looking to do more for you, so follow along. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.